Welcome back to Fluent Minds, where we turn confusion into clarity in your English learning journey.
And where we say the things most learners are secretly thinking, but are too afraid to ask.
Does fake it till you make it actually work in learning English?
And I love this topic because it's both powerful and dangerous if misunderstood.
Exactly, some people hear fake it and think it means pretending to be fluent.
Which can lead to embarrassment real quick.
Very quick, but I think the idea goes deeper than that.
It does, it's really about behavior before belief.
Explain that.
It means you act confident before you feel confident, and eventually your mind catches up.
So you're saying confidence can be trained from the outside in.
Yes, just like muscles in a gym.
Interesting, because many learners wait until they feel ready.
And that's the trap, they never feel ready.
Let's be honest. Have you ever met someone who said, "Now I'm 100% ready to speak English"?
Never, even advanced speakers doubt themselves.
So if we wait for confidence, we delay progress.
Exactly, confidence comes after action, not before.
That flips the whole mindset.
It really does, and this is where fake it till you make it becomes useful.
But let's clarify, what does faking it actually look like in real life?
It looks like speaking even when your sentence isn't perfect.
It looks like trying even when your pronunciation isn't great.
It looks like raising your hand, joining conversations, and risking mistakes.
So it's not about pretending to know everything.
It's about refusing to stay silent.
That's powerful.
Because silence is the real enemy in language learning.
Not mistakes.
No, mistakes are actually proof that you're learning.
That's a mindset shift right there.
Think about children learning language. They make hundreds of mistakes.
And nobody tells them to stop speaking.
Exactly, they keep going until they get better.
But adults, we fear judgment.
We fear sounding stupid.
Which is ironic, because staying silent keeps us stuck longer.
Yes, silence protects your ego but destroys your growth.
That line hits hard.
It should, because many learners are trapped there.
So faking it is really breaking that silence.
Yes, it's choosing action over comfort.
Let's talk about a real situation. Imagine you're in a group conversation.
And everyone is speaking fast English.
You understand maybe 60%. What do?
Most learners shrink back and stop participating.
But someone using this mindset,
They jump in anyway, even if it's simple.
even if it's just one sentence,
Because one imperfect sentence is better than 0 perfect ones.
that last point is important. One imperfect sentence is better than silence.
Because every time you speak, your brain is practicing in real time.
It's like training under pressure.
Exactly, and pressure creates growth faster than comfort.
So in a way, discomfort is part of the process.
Not just part of it, it's required.
That might scare some listeners.
It shouldn't, it should free them.
How so?
Because it means feeling uncomfortable is not a sign you're failing.
It's a sign you're improving.
Yes, that nervous feeling before speaking.
That's growth knocking.
Most people misinterpret it as danger.
So they avoid it.
And by avoiding it, they avoid improvement.
That's a cycle.
A very dangerous one.
Let's shift to pronunciation. Many learners hesitate because they're afraid of saying words wrong.
That's one of the biggest fears.
So how does fake it till you make it apply there?
You say the word anyway.
Even if you're unsure.
Especially if you're unsure.
That sounds risky.
It is, but it's also how you learn.
Because someone might correct you.
Or you'll hear the correct version later and adjust.
So mistakes become feedback.
Exactly, immediate feedback.
That's something apps can't fully replicate.
No app can replace real conversation.
Let's be honest, many learners stay in study mode too long.
Yes, watching videos, reading, listening, but not speaking.
They feel productive, but they're avoiding the real challenge.
Which is using the language.
So faking it pushes you into action.
It forces you out of passive learning.
Let's give an example. Say you're ordering food in English.
Instead of rehearsing perfectly in your head.
You just go for it.
Even if you say, "I want this food, please."
Simple but effective.
And next time you improve it.
I'd like this, please.
Then later, "Could I have this, please?"
So fluency builds step by step.
Not in one perfect moment.
That's a big misconception.
Fluency is built through messy progress, not perfect performance.
Messy progress, that's something people don't talk about enough.
Because it's not glamorous, it's awkward, slow, and sometimes frustrating.
But it's real.
And it's the only path forward.
Let's talk about confidence again, because that's really at the center of this idea.
Yes, and confidence is often misunderstood.
People think confident speakers never feel nervous.
But that's not true at all.
So what's the truth?
Confident speakers feel the same fear, they just don't obey it.
That's powerful.
They speak anyway.
So faking it is ignoring the voice that says, don't speak.
Exactly, it's choosing action over hesitation.
Let's bring in another angle, identity.
Oh, this is a deep one.
Because how you see yourself affects how you act.
Yes, if you see yourself as bad at English,
You'll behave like someone who is bad at English.
you'll avoid speaking, avoid risks, avoid growth.
But if you start saying, I am someone who is learning and improving every day,
Your behavior changes.
you take more chances.
You speak more.
You improve faster.
That's identity shaping action.
So is fake it till you make it also about identity?
Yes, you act like the person you want to become.
Even before you fully are that person.
And over time, you grow into it.
But there's a danger here.
Yes, and we need to address it honestly.
Because some people take this idea too far.
They pretend instead of improving.
They avoid studying.
They rely only on confidence.
And that creates a gap,
A big gap between confidence and actual skill.
which eventually gets exposed.
Always.
So what's the balance?
Confidence plus competence.
Both matter.
Confidence gets you speaking.
Competence keeps you improving.
Without competence, confidence becomes empty.
And without confidence, competence stays hidden.
So you need both working together.
That's the real formula.
Not fake it forever, but start bold, then build real skill.
Start bold, then build real skill. That's a strong way to put it.
Because boldness opens doors, but skill keeps them open.
Let's talk about consistency.
Yes, because this mindset only works if you show up regularly.
You can't fake confidence once and expect results.
It has to become a habit,
Daily action, even if it's small.
especially if it's small.
Why small?
Because small actions are repeatable.
And repetition builds fluency.
Exactly, one conversation a day can change everything.
Even one sentence a day can make a difference.
Because it keeps you in the game.
Let's give listeners something practical.
Okay, here's a simple challenge.
I like challenges.
For the next 7 days,
Speak English every day, no matter what.
even if it's just talking to yourself,
Even if it feels strange.
especially if it feels strange.
Because that's where growth lives.
Record yourself speaking.
Listen back without judging.
Just observe and improve.
And most importantly, don't wait to be perfect.
Because perfection is not the goal.
Communication is.
Let's also talk about mindset during mistakes.
Yes, because mistakes are guaranteed.
Instead of saying, I'm bad at this,
Say, I'm getting better at this.
that shift matters.
Because your words shape your belief.
And your belief shapes your progress.
So we're back to where we started.
Behavior before beliefs.
Act confident.
And confidence will follow.
So final question, does fake it till you make it work?
Yes, but only if you understand it correctly.
Fake confidence, not knowledge.
Take action, not shortcuts.
Stay consistent, not perfect.
And most importantly, keep going.
Because fluency is not a moment.
It's a journey.
And every sentence you speak
Is one step closer to mastering English.